really important that we begin to change the mindset of young people to know that your vote counts.
They don't understand that the legislative arm of government is actually a co-equal arm of government.
We have an incredible amount of potential.
Whatever it is I was doing, because of my personal DNA, it had to be of an international standard.
Which is what, seriously speaking, is all about. Well, hello there. If you've started the year on a good note, we're going to try and make it better for you on this show. And if you've been watching the show since the beginning of the year, it's certain that we have in some ways tried to set your mind on the path of being better at whatever it is that you're doing. That's what, seriously speaking, is all about. However, if you have a goal, for example, that you want to be an author this year, then you are tuned in at the right time to the right station, watching the right show, because I have two authors in the house. They are young authors, both in age and in the number of books that they've published, but they decided to go ahead and publish anyway, regardless of all the challenges. They'll be sharing their experiences in the hope that if you are a budding author, you should get up and go and do it. We shall be back in a short while for the first of my guests on the show. Yes, welcome back. I truly am excited about having my first guest on this show. This is her book, What Goes Around. I call it Love Turns Around. Now, because it's a love story, but it's not the kind of love story that I like to read. I like to read happily ever afters. Now, Ify Tony-Monye is my first guest today. You have to get up and hug Misha. Hey, Ify.
Hi.
So that, what does it feel like to be standing here now trying to talk about your book?
It feels wonderful. Thank you.
When you say something is wonderful, you people that write, you use words. What's wonderful? Full of wonder.
Wonderful comes in a package.
Okay.
There's excitement. There's a bit of, I won't use the word trepidation. Yeah, like you're not sure what to expect or what to say. And then there's the happiness of finally you're facing Adesua and you're telling her everything from your heart.
Well, this is seriously speaking.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I know.
I mean, you live in Enugu now.
Yes, I do.
But you were in Lagos for a while.
Yes, I was.
And from systems analyst to author, how did that happen?
Well,
Because that's your background.
Yes, that is my background, exactly. I would say it's not like I flew from systems analyst to author in that path. I'd always wanted to write because I used to read a lot and I still read a lot. My mom had this trunk box full of books, all sorts of books.
Are you the first child?
No, I'm the second, actually. So I was always indoors with my nose tucked behind a book. And at some point, I think about 10 years of age, I tried my hand at writing. I just stapled...
What was going... I mean, when you told me that before we came on, so I'm like, what's a 10-year-old writing?
A lot of rubbish. But I just felt, well, I could staple paper together and scribble something and just open it and yes, I'm reading a book that I wrote. So that was just the idea behind doing that. And with time, it grew into something more serious.
In my intro, if you heard, I'm not sure you heard from that distance, I said that this is not a pretty book.
No, it's not.
What goes around? It's like more like When Love Turns Sour. Okay, maybe what goes around. We did a review of it. I gave it to a young woman to read and review in our magazine. I say it's not a pretty book. She says, oh, why didn't it end happily ever after?
Yeah.
I wonder why. What goes around?
In What Goes Around, yes, it's not really a pretty book and it doesn't end happily ever after. But Adesua, does it really ever end happily ever after for many people? Life is full of, mysteries and pain and sorrow, but everybody wants to see the beautiful side of life. Yes, it's nice to see beautiful, but then that ugly side is there and I want to bring it out to the fore for people to see.
Now, is writing all about writing your experience? Did you have to acquire any technical skills to try to do this?
No, I did not. And it's not all about experience. It's when I say experience, not all about personal experience. Like sitting down opposite you, I'm thinking things in my head.
Oh, I could feature you. Next book.
I could feature you in my next book, but I might not call you Adesua. I'll just use, maybe your facial expression, the way you talk, and things like that.
So at the end of the day are like reporters, if you
Yes,
ask me.
they are.
Now, but are you worried about the fact that, there's so much writing going on now?
Yeah.
People say they are creative writers, they've gone to do some training. Weren't you worried about people complaining? I'm asking this because there may be people out there who are thinking of doing this and they're like, I'm not Chimamanda. I'm not, they're scared.
Yeah. Well, even if you ask Chimamanda today whether she went through what people, are scared about, she will tell you yes. Did she get rejections? Yes. Did I get rejections? Yes. But you just have to believe in yourself and tell yourself you can do it. No matter what people tell you, one person somewhere is going to say yes to you. And when that one person says yes, you tell yourself, finally, I've done it.
I'll take a short break and I return with my second guest who has been here several times. Short notice he comes, but he's published a new book which I find very interesting. Let me show you that book before I take a break. That's the book. It's called Afro, the girl with the big hair. I'll be right back with my next guest if you don't go away. Yes, I think I will start this segment by just reading a little bit from this book. The beginning. Once upon a time, in the faraway kingdom of Yaki land, there lived a queen. The queen ruled the kingdom with an iron fist. She made everyone do exactly as she commanded. No, that's not what I want. When people of Yaki land ran out of Kanek weaves, the kingdom is thrown into chaos, ruled by an evil, straight hair-obsessed queen for so many years. The people of Yakilang have forgotten how to grow their own hair. It's up to Afro, the girl with magical hair, to save the kingdom. But the queen has plans of her own. Did you read it? This is Ofili, Okechukwu. It's nice to have you on the set again for this show. This time as a proper author.
Yes, exactly, a published author.
A publisher.
Finally, after 5-6 years of self-publishing.
Yeah, but then of self-publishing online. You've done 2 books.
3 books.
3 books.
Before this one. How Stupidity Saved My Life.
That's what brought you. Everybody was like, what's this guy talking about?
Yes.
Stupidity, like elevating stupidity.
And How Laziness Saved My Life. And How Intelligence Kills. And then now my first children's book, first published book.
Which one are you most excited about?
This one I would say because the journey
has
been incredible, the reception has been phenomenal, and it's being written to make a difference in people's lives.
Because I'm seeing Rapunzel, Nigerian Rapunzel.
Exactly.
Rapunzel is the girl with the long hair.
With the long hair.
But she's Oyinbo.
Exactly.
You identify with Rapunzel.
Yeah, I do.
And I want to believe that Kanek weaves is like what Ify has on her head.
Yeah.
Ify, drop your Kanek
I've
weaves.
been warned, Afro all the way.
But yeah, it like you said, it rightfully, it's a flip of the Rapunzel story. I said, well, what if Rapunzel was black? She's not going to have long hair flowing down. And that's where we came up with this story about Afro, the girl with the magical hair. And it was written because for far too long, there are just not enough Afrocentric children's books. Most of the books we have, at least I don't know, but growing up I read Snow White.
Yeah, Cinderella.
Exactly, and it was like...
What did you read?
Oh, Famous 5.
But that's a challenge for our writers, isn't it? We should have more Afrocentric stories that build characters that would help.
Yes, I mean, it's up to us, the writers, to write write those books, and that's what I intended to do with this.
But it wasn't easy, was it?
No, the journey was long, and it was accidental. When I wrote this, I was trying to do, my girlfriend has this big natural hair, so I said I was going to write this story.
There's a natural hair movement now. You check out my shuku.
So we did it. It turned out to a 300-word story, and then it became 3,000 words, and I put it on Okada Books, and the reaction was crazy. People downloaded it, people loved it, and they said, turn this into an actual book, an actual printed book. And I started doing the legwork.
I thought I'd seen the Afro Girl before on your blog. I remember I'd seen Afro.
Yes. And it just started as a little blog, but the reaction was incredible.
I wonder, though, you guys are writing. Don't you worry that Nigerians don't read? They say Nigerians don't read.
I think that is a false...
True.
That is a lie. And what happens is that there are not enough bookstores in Nigeria.
Distribution, thank you.
The distribution is poor. Know. So they get up and say, oh, Nigerians don't read. But the fact of the matter is that Nigerians can't read because they don't have
access
the books
to the books
to read. And the books are too expensive because if you try and print books in Nigeria, for example, the quality is bad. I tried it, they left pages off. So your other option is to print outside. And they added all these customs, bureaucracy, and by the time you get it here, the price is exorbitant. It's crazy.
Yeah.
So Nigerians read. We just need to get books at a cheaper price.
So
And
now,
more bookshops.
distribution. Hey, that was what I'm saying, distribution. So are you distributing around across Nigeria, for example? You are Farafina. Who's distributing you?
Well,
Self-distribution.
self-distribution, really, and I've actually gone out in the field myself.
Thank you very much, Okechukwu, for being here.
Thank you.
And thank you very much, Ify, for flying all the way from Enugu to be in my studio.
Thank you for
I
having
appreciate
me.
it.
Thank you for having
And thank you for watching. We'll see you again next week.